Welcome back, student. Let's now talk about the third mode of transport. We talked about the modes of transport. We have got several. We have got land, we have got water, we have got air, and later the current one we'll be talking about is the container. But before that, let's talk about the air transport. Air is just a movement, it's a mode whereby airplanes are used. So it's just movement on the air. So and basically airplanes are always used. So therefore airplanes, in bracket aircraft, are the means of transport. So on the air, basically you always have the aircraft as the mean of. So air is the way while airports and the airstrips are the terminal or terminals. We understand what the terminals are. These are essential elements that are required for the transport to take place. Apart from terminals, we also have the ways, we have the unit of carriage, we also have the method of propulsion. I hope you can remember that in the previous lesson when we were introducing this topic. So let's you not get confused. Then the next, air transport is the fastest means of transport. Hence, it is suitable for transporting urgently needed goods over long distance. It is coming on an opposite of water, whereby the urgently and the perishable good can be transported over long distance, and it is the fastest means of transport, and that is the use of aeroplanes. Then after that, aircrafts can be classified into two. They are also classified into two. We have got passengers plane, we also have cargo planes. So the passengers planes transport people, or passengers who are people, whereas cargo always deal with transporting the cargo, which are goods. And airplanes may be designed to carry special types of goods, like some goods are very special. To talk about computers, there are some airplanes that have been designed to ensure that goods like that are highly secure inside air. There are some also who have been designed for carrying the perishable goods and etc. So airplane may be expensive to acquire and also maintain. And you can see that maybe that can appear in the demerits of using aeroplane, or demerits of having an aeroplane as a means of transport in the country. Then let's look at the features of air transport. Features here, we talk about the characteristics of air transport. How is it associated to our day-to-day operation? So air transport has the highly automated machines of cargo and also passengers handling facilities. This is just what are there when you talk about air. Especially if you go to airport or the terminal, the airport, you see this, there are cargo machines, that is machines dealing with cargo and putting cargo in and out, and also passengers handling and facilities. Then aircraft are fitted with special safety facilities. There are safety facilities fitted with the aircraft. Then you also have air transport service that are controlled by international, then also International Air Transport Association, and also fares and rates are comprehensive. All include all services at the terminals. Comprehensive means that it is having a fixed rate. It is having a fixed rate, and it is being controlled by one. Understand? So that these are the features, these are the characteristics of the air transport. Let's look at the advantage of using air transport. There is less handling of goods along the way, since airplanes mostly fly directly to their final destination. This reduces the cases of damage, because people doesn't hold or handle the goods each and every time as compared to other means of transport, like maybe road. Maybe checking the goods, maybe the police officers may be maybe trying to look at what kind of goods are there. So that maybe because of handling it very numerous, that will maybe lead to the damage of some of the goods which are very delicate. So in here, the cases of touching or holding this has been reduced, because they fly to the final destination where they cannot be interrupted. And the next, the way is natural and free. That makes it very cheap in one way or the other. So it is natural and free, and that's an advantage. Then the next plane can move through spaces other means cannot, like across the mountains. So air can provide an avenue of transport whereby the aeroplane can land on top of the mountain where other means of transport cannot. So you see, that is an advantage of that. Then the next, aeroplanes are intercontinental all over the world, hence making it more convenient. Intercontinental means that it connects the continents. So being that it can connect the continent, that make it what? Makes it very convenient. Then the next, it is suitable for long distance traveling. It is suitable for long distance traveling. It is suitable for long distance traveling. So the point is, it is suitable for long distance traveling from, for example, a country to another country. So that is one of the interesting thing about using air transport. Then the next one is that it is suitable for transporting perishable and urgently needed goods. That's another merit of transport. Let's look at the disadvantages before the end of this lesson. So disadvantages of air transport cause pollution in terms of maybe effluents. Those are what? The smoke to some kind or some types of aeroplane, and also the noise pollution. For example, it's not always advisable for people to stay next to the airport because the sound there is unbearable. That is a disadvantage. The next, airstrips and airports are not available everywhere. So this kind of airports, they are not always available everywhere. That makes it not available. That makes the air transport not accessible by many people in the country. So the next, it is not convenient for heavy and bulky goods. So air transport is not convenient for heavy goods that weigh large kilograms, and also bulky goods that are big in terms of what? In terms of quantity. Then the next, aircraft are expensive to acquire and maintain. So buying that vessel, buying that gadget used for carrying people on air is very expensive. Also, in terms of acquiring it and also maintaining. And the next, it requires highly trained personnel, like pilots. So for an aeroplane to fly, it requires highly trained personnel because the life on the air is very, very critical. It requires a trusted person highly skilled, and that's also expensive in one way or the other. And the next, unfavorable weather condition causes delays. If the aeroplane or the pilot realize that there is a lot of mist and fogs and clouds on the air or on the sky, then sometimes may affect the routine or the normal routine of the landing of the aeroplane. That may cause a delay. So those are the disadvantages of using air transport. Let's look at the circumstances under which air transport is preferred. What can make maybe a business or a trader to only prefer using what? Air transport. Then when you talk about circumstances in business, please always start with this. When you're always talking about circumstances, always start with when, if, talk about in case, or whereas, or where. So these are the words to use when you are starting a question like this. A question in business talking about the circumstances under which, not only in this, any question, asking your question starting the circumstances under which something does what and what. Always start your answers with these words here. When, if, in case, whereas, where. So if you write or you give your answer direct without considering this rule, your answer will be always marked wrong. Not only in my exam, even in the national exam, any kind of exam, and that's why it's good for you to get it right at this stage. So let's at those kinds of circumstances, you can see the rule or the principle has been applied in giving the point here. When urgency is needed, when maybe there is an hospital in need of some of the medicine because of the crisis in terms of disease in a certain area, you will use what? Air. If maybe there's hunger, people are dying because of a lack of food, then they will use air to reach those people very fast. And the next, when goods to be transported are perishable, when like flowers, if they realize that flowers are really perishable, and if they stay for long, they might go, or they might expire, or they might go back, then they will use air transport. And the next, when goods to be transported are of high value, like computers, like gold, you will always use air to avoid or to make it more secure, or to avoid maybe the cases of theft or the cases of stealing or the thugs maybe storming such kind of means. So air is the suitable place or to transport maybe gold. Then the next, when goods are to be transported are fragile. Fragile means that they are what? They are not durable. They can get destroyed anytime. They are weak. That's very expensive. So you will use air. And the next, when the distance to be covered is long, when you want to transport goods maybe to the United States of America right now, it's a long distance, and therefore it's suitable to use air. When you use maybe other means like water, it will take months for that goods to reach there. Then the last one, when safety is desired. So if you want to transport your goods or want to move or you want to have full safety when maybe moving from one place to another, then you will consider air. So that marks the end of this lesson, and please feel welcome. Always ask questions. These notes will be there on the Google Classroom account, and always do your assignment. Otherwise, feel welcome. Stay blessed. Thank you.